I'd like to talk to you about symptom and root cause. Let's picture an iceberg. And when we look at an iceberg on water, what do we see? We see a tip of ice on the surface, and which is mostly the 10% of that big body that's underwater, which is usually 90%. And that's exactly the correlation to symptom and root cause. So what's on the surface is only the symptom, the root cause is the 90%. And that's what you're looking for in BodyTalk. BodyTalk, as I mentioned, focuses on that root cause. So we want to know what lies underneath. We want to know when and where that communication within the body-mind started to break down. What was the set-off for that to happen, right? What are the emotions involved? What are the traumas, fears, phobias that an individual carries to this day, even though they don't have any contact with, because oftentimes that can be all stored in a subconscious level, because if it's a very painful memory to deal with, right, we bury it, and that's a defense from the body, right, in order for us to live. And that's exactly what we need to address, because if those symptoms get stored and let be, eventually they will start compromising other symptoms, other systems in the body, meaning that you can start developing really physical impairments because of that emotion that's been stored there for so long. So again, we're looking for what caused that communication to break down in the first place between all the within the systems in the body and between body-mind. And also, it's good to remember that symptom is only a consequence of what's happening in the body-mind, right? So that is our signal in order to show us that there is something wrong with the body. Because if you were to have no symptoms, we would not be able to address anything, right? And that's what happens with cancer. People who develop cancer, before it goes onto the physical body, it starts developing itself very slowly, and it starts on the energy bodies, on your energetic field, before it goes into your physical internal body and affects your emotions. It affects your energy bodies, and then it's going to affect your physical. And in order for us to get tested for something, if you were to get tested for cancer, and if it's too early of a stage that nothing can show in the physical body, guess what? They're not going to pick it up, right? And then nothing can be done. There's no therapy that can be done in order to address it. But that's according to Western medicine standards. If you were to receive a BodyTalk session, even if it's something is already forming on your energetic field before it goes into your body, we can pick up and we can address it at the very early stage. And that will stop and prevent that symptom, that disease, to actually start forming on your physical body. And that's the beauty of it. Now, people usually ask, how is a BodyTalk session done, right? What is behind it? How do you communicate with the body? How do we know what the body really needs to get addressed? So BodyTalk reconnects those lines of communication that break down when the body's under stress and diseases start developing, as we know, and makes the body regain functions on all levels. The body, as we know, has a natural intelligence, an innate wisdom that actually knows how to heal itself. So the body knows how to heal itself on all levels. When I mentioned about people who meditate for many hours, based on this principle, they heal. So it's like if you were to cut yourself, twist an ankle, or burn your skin, you give your body a few days, the body starts healing itself. right? Even if you don't do anything, apply anything on your skin, because the body has this defense mechanism and internal intelligence. BodyTalk then searches for the root cause of that problem, and or disease, or physical, mental, emotional distress, on all those body levels, right? On the physical, emotional, spiritual, psychological level. So we try and find that root cause somewhere stored on any of those levels. That communication that me as a practitioner will then apply with the body is done through neuromuscular biofeedback, which is very light tapping on the wrist in order for me to find resistance or no on the muscle, so I can detect answers, pick up answers, yes or no answers, to a series of questions that I will ask the body based on this protocol chart that will allow me to scan the body mind in depth to find out the areas of imbalance. Then with that, I will start developing a formula that's specifically tailored for that individual I'm working on, and based on the priorities in healing of that individual, to then, when I have that formula in place, integrate that into the body through light tapping of the three brains, which then will stimulate recovery, balance, and good health on all levels. Once the body has absorbed that formula, then balancing starts kicking in naturally and immediately, as deep as cellular and quantum levels. Now, balancing of both hemispheres of the brain takes place, right? So we are reconnecting that communication between the two, as I mentioned in my other video. And for that matter, energetic and thinking patterns change, right? Because it works directly on your subconscious mind or conscious mind. Tensions get alleviated. The blockages within the body get released. And then that will set the grounds for positive health lifestyle of that individual to come up to be established. So once it works on your consciousness, it will then make you start adjusting your body in a way, your body mind in a way where the body will start gravitating towards what's best for you, right? Or for it to start healing. So that's why it changes patterns, it changes behaviors, it changes emotions, everything starts changing, relationships changing. Why? Because internally we are already changing the relationship within the different systems and body parts, and that comes on the external part of the body, and that it's an extension of what's happening inside the body.